Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay, so January 12, 2010, the earthquake came onto us as a big surprise in Pétionville, in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. And of course, we were affected also, just like the rest of the capital, because it's been 150 years since we had our last earthquake. And we were one of the lucky ones because everybody came out alive. We didn't have any casualties. Maybe some very minor people had some minor injuries, but most of our all of our clients came out very safely, and we all went on the tennis court and found a safe haven there, where we all stayed all night. After that, it was now the time to look at the damages and see how things were. When we went in and we realized that the whole first floor of the building was completely cracked, all the partition walls some of them were down, and of course the hotel is affected and we could not reopen since then. So we were in the process now of doing some assessment as far as what should we do, what is the next step, because it was a big shock to all of us. What happened to the whole country first, and then ourselves, what should we do? And then we had all kind of experts coming in saying all kind of crazy stuff, one after the other, until one day I heard that there was that Japanese guy that was in Haiti, and he was overlooking at some buildings, and that he seemed to know what he's doing. And I put all my antennas out to see if he could stop by before leaving. And fortunately, that was Kip Miyamoto, and that was the day of his birthday. Actually, he stopped by and he walked in the building, and he told me that he felt very secure in the building, that there is hope, and that we can either repair the building or do a complete retrofitting to make the building up to code for any other event that could happen in the near future. And he gave me the two options. And of course we decided, since we were going to be closed anyway, that the best option would be to do a complete retrofitting of the structure of the building, so that as we start the repairs, we also started with foundations for some very strong shear walls to put from foundation all the way up to the roof, so that we can give our future guests, when we reopen, the feeling of security as they walk into the building, and also for our employees that were there during the event. And during the whole process of retrofitting, they were afraid to go in the building. Now they feel very comfortable working inside, because they saw the work that has been done, which is pretty big work that we did in record time, because as we were closed, we were losing revenues, and we were still paying our employees so that we can keep some activities in the building. The convention part was still open, and we did some dormitories in some of our meeting rooms and stuff like that, just to keep life, and we had to keep security around and everything. So we were very pleased with the work that has been done. Now we are back in business, and we are also in the process of expanding the hotel and adding another 100 rooms that would give us more than double our capacity. So it took an event and knowing the right person, meeting the right person to move forward and not be despair.
Okay, so we're rolling, and the question being, what was the construction like before, and how we're doing things differently, and now we're building an extension to the hotel, and we're doing this and that to make it so much more resistant to possible earthquakes in the future.
Well, the original building was 50 years old. It was a monastery that has been renovated to become a hotel. And thank God in a way that we did that before, because by doing that we added a few walls, we added balconies, and this structure was studied in the US by the US firm, and maybe that's what kept the building together, because all the buildings that were built 50 years ago, most of them are inexistent right now. So in a way, that's why I say that we were lucky that we did that renovation between 2006 and 2008, before the hotel really opened in 2008 and had to close in 2010. But if it wasn't for that renovation, maybe the building would not have been there at all. So we learned from those old construction type, and we realized that by doing the right thing at first, you become not only safer, you might spend a little more money, but it's safer and you save lives, and at the same time you make sure that your investment will last longer in case of a new event that nobody would like to see. But from what they say, you better be prepared to solve. And that's why when we were doing the extension, we decided now that we're going to do it right the first time, once and for all. Although it might cost maybe 10% more on the total budget, or 15%, we don't know yet. But basically, whatever it would cost, a life has no cost to us, especially when it comes to our guests. So that's why when we were doing the extension, we called again on Miyamoto to do the whole structural of this new building. And to tell you the truth, most of our hotel guests that would come and came to take a look at the construction process, they came back to me to say, thank you, you're doing the right thing, my friend. In a way to say that they feel, just watching the construction, how many rebars, if you look at the rebars in the building, all the walls here are reinforced walls, concrete reinforced walls, with vertical and horizontal rebars with grout inside. So that gives that building a strength where, nothing is going to shake it. The foundations themselves are humongous. That's why it took us 18 months to get out of ground, because we had to go deep enough and we have to do huge foundations. And you want me to stop that?